it's Alan with 𝘴𝘶𝗡𝗚. Welcome back to another new video. In today's video, I'm really excited because I actually got a new digiboil, and if you guys know anything about me, I've used these units for going on 3.5 years, and I've really liked them. However, when I tried the Generation 2 unit from a company called 𝘬𝗪𝗠𝗏, I had significant issues to where the unit was consistently smoking, scorching my wax. I replaced it, bought another unit, etc., etc. I had the same problem. Huge challenges with their customer service. So this particular unit is a Generation 2, but it's from a different company called Keg Outlet. And what actually ended up happening in this video turns out really good, and I'm thrilled because I had decided that I wouldn't be purchasing any more of these units due to my experience from that other company.
So if you guys can see, it appears to be melting the wax down there, not scorching it.
So anyways, this is a unit that is a Gen 2 from Keg Outlet, not 𝘬𝗪𝗠𝗏. So what you see down here is 100% coconut apricot wax, the 𝘴𝗶𝗍𝗍𝗏. And just like all these units, you are able to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit by just holding down the plus and minus button, and then they're supposed to just hold the temperature that you put. And of course, with my old unit, that wasn't the case. It had a number of glitches. This particular unit, I'm thrilled to say, behaved exactly like my Generation 1. So if you guys wanted to check one out for yourself, I'll just put a link in the description box. It's not an affiliate link or anything. This is not a sponsored video. I wanted to give this digiboil one more shot because I was thinking that maybe what had happened before was just a really bad batch, and even the replacement that 𝘬𝗪𝗠𝗏 had sent me was still causing the same problems. However, like I said, this unit from Keg Outlet, which looked a little bit different than the Gen 2s I'd gotten from 𝘬𝗪𝗠𝗏, it functioned just like my Generation 1s that I've loved so much for the last several years, so I'm thrilled. But what we are going to be making today is some more candles in these beautiful black iridescent Evermore cylinders that I did purchase from 𝘗𝗡𝗡𝗏 back when they were in business. Now, you can get a vessel very similar to this from 𝘴𝘶𝗡𝗏. It is called their Aura vessel, and I'll try to leave a link to their website below, but they do have this exact color and everything. It's going to be a little bit smaller than these, but it's very similar in style and color. What I like to do is just take my wicks, and these are going to be the CDN series. Now, if you would like the specifics of my formula that I use for these candles, as well as the exact wicks that I'm using, and the fragrance blends and fragrances that I'm using, I will have all that stuff posted in a step-by-step guide walking you right through how I make these candles in my Patreon. So definitely check that out. It just costs a few dollars per month, and it helps to keep this content sustainable for me. And you are able to access a whole vault of recipes. We're close to, I think, 40 different recipes at this point, and these are formulas that I have worked on, many of them for years, and they're formulas that I use for my own business. And you are able to access and download all of those just at the $5 a month level. I also post a new formula every single week to my Patreon. So definitely check that out if you'd like this formula as well as many others. And if you're a concrete candle maker, it's a really special area because I post all my pigment formulas. So you will get like a whole formula on there for a particular concrete candle, including the custom pigment blends, fragrance blend, wax, wicks, you name it. And I often offer alternatives if you use a slightly different concrete vessel. So what I'm using today to center these wicks is a tool that I got from 𝘗𝗡𝗡𝗏 when they were in business, but you can actually get these from Design House. And they have a number of different wick centering tools. I know there's different companies that offer these types of tools. For me personally, I actually find that I can center them pretty well by eye, but sometimes when I'm doing double and triple wicking, I will use a centering tool if I have one available. Now, for this wax, I do like to heat it up between 180 and 190 in Fahrenheit, and then I'll stir in my fragrance for about 2 minutes. Now, this candle that I'm pouring right now is our banana bread, and the formula for this one, it's a custom blend. Once again, it's available in my Patreon, and it's a blend that I've worked really hard on because I found that a lot of banana breads, they kind of have the banana without the bread. So for me, it was really important to have those base notes in there, that warm vanilla, the rich buttercream, and the kind of bread notes that you'd get when you actually bake a banana bread. I've had this formula for the last, actually it was one of the first ones that I ever came up with when I was blending things. So it's been a part of Earthglow for the last 4.5 years, and I'm just super excited to finally be having it available in this larger size. The other candles that I'm pouring today are gonna be all gourmands, and I will typically do that where I will group my candle scents together so that way I am able to use the same pouring pitchers and piston funnels from scent to scent. Now, typically I would change these out if I was using, say, a bakery scent and going to a clean scent or going to a fresh scent. But when you work within the same scent family, you are able to, without contaminating the scent, use a lot of the time the same pouring pitchers, the same spatulas, and the same piston funnels. So I will often group my scents like that. This one over here that I am pouring is actually our Vinyasa Flow candle, which is a brandied pear scent. It's another one of my personal favorites. I know it's kind of a weird name, but I actually named it Vinyasa Flow because my favorite way to enjoy this candle is when I do yoga in my bedroom. And so, I don't know, there's something about it that just is such a vibe. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the wax that I'm using for this is Coconut Apricot Cream. And this wax has quickly become one of my favorites. If you guys saw my video from a couple years back, I'll try to post it above, or a little card to it above. I actually tried this wax out first from Hive and Honey, and then I did end up buying a half pallet from Porter Candle Supply. Now, you can get this wax from any manufacturer or from any supplier that's closest to you. They all get it from the same manufacturer, which is Cal Wax. So don't feel like you have to buy from Hive and Honey or you have to buy from Porter or one supplier or another. They're all getting it from the same manufacturer. So one of the things I like to do is I measure out my fragrance in these glass beakers, which I'll have linked below, and all the candle making supplies that I use, most of them you can find available in my Amazon storefront, which I always have linked below. And there's like a category in there for shipping, there's a category for markets, a category for candles, concrete candles, soaps, etc. But these beakers I literally had since day one. And one thing I really like about using glass is not only can you easily just wash it out and keep reusing it as opposed to paper or plastic, which is a one-time use, but unlike silicone, I've seen some people use like the little silicone cups, the fragrances don't stick in glass. You are able to clean it out and there's no residual scent remaining in there. When I've tried the little silicone cups, I find that they actually leave a bit of a residue, and I actually have found this with wax melts as well when I've tried to pour into like the silicone cavities and do like those melts that pop out, which I still think are fun, but you're not going to be able to totally get out the scent. So I would recommend if you do those to, just use similar scent families. So say if you're doing like a cactus one or a little succulent, to keep using floral scents in that mold. But anyways, these glass beakers they're just a godsend. I've even dropped them on the floor before, and now sometimes they've broken, but like at least half the time they don't even break. So they're just really great. They're a similar beaker to the ones that I'd use in chemistry lab, and they're just phenomenal. Now, one thing about coconut apricot wax that's really nice is you are able to pour these, and I would say it's a single pour. Now, with that said, because I'm sometimes ridiculously particular, I will still go over them with a heat gun because There can be a little bit of dipping by the wicks, just depending on your container, but my recommendation is to pour this hot, and you're gonna get less of that. If you pour this wax cold, so let me back up a second. My process after I have mixed in the fragrance, so again, I'll be mixing in the fragrance for 1 to 2 minutes, and then I will pour this wax directly into my piston funnels, which you're seeing me using right in the video. And these are able to get me right into the vessels, and it almost eliminates entirely spilling the wax on the wick centering tools and all that kind of stuff, because you have so much more control. But I will go ahead and pour straight away. So right after I've poured the wax into the piston funnels, I'll go right over to the candles and start pouring. And I would estimate that the temperature is probably about 160 or so, but again, what you're gonna wanna do is just after you've mixed in that fragrance and stirred it, just pour straight away. That is gonna get you the smoothest tops with this wax. And if you do pour it lower, you'll get pretty smooth tops as well, but it's gonna start setting up on you much quicker than say 464 soy. It's just super easy to use. There's no sinkholes. If you deal with 6006, you'll definitely know about sinkholes. And I've even gotten sinkholes when I was beginning to formulate my beeswax soy cocoa cream blend. And I'll try to link the video to that formula down below. I still absolutely adore my formula and would consider it the best formula that I've ever used for wooden wick candles in the Candle Science Astro jars. With the 0.04 series, 0.5 to 0.625 inch crackling boosters. But for most of my other candles now, I am using this coconut apricot cream or the number 7, aka CB2. And both of these waxes are by the same manufacturer, Cal Wax. You guys can see, like, this is the next day. I mean, they're so smooth. I just like to go over these jars with a microfiber towel, just like you would use when you are cleaning your car, because these particular jars I find are very prone to smudges, and I personally don't like the candle to come to my customer with smudges on it, if at all possible, to avoid. So I just use gloves when I'm handling them, and then these microfiber towels, which I'll have linked below. You can probably even pick them up at your auto supply store. But I do tend to just go over these lightly with the heat gun. And I absolutely love how easy this wax is to use. Like, I can't even tell you guys how this wax and the CB2, and again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with Cal Wax in any way, and they are kind of pricey waxes. That's the one thing I will say. Now, the hot throw is not going to be quite what you would get from 6006, but it's pretty darn close. I've done a lot of candle making with 6006 in the last year and a half as well, and I can tell you it's pretty darn close with coconut apricot cream as well as the CB2. The one thing I will say about coconut apricot, and I'm going to do a sip and chat on this, is that its burn profile is actually similar in some ways to 6006, because it will burn downward before it burns outward, which makes it much more difficult to wick in a container that is wider than it is tall, unless you're using multi-wicks. So when you're right on the cusp, like with a 3-inch diameter tin, this wax can be very challenging to wick, and I've yet to find a wick that works well for a 3-inch diameter 8-ounce tin that a lot of us use. However, if you use the CB2, also known as number 7, you are able to easily wick that wax. It has a different burn profile that I would say is more similar to ProBlend 600, except you're going to get a better hot throw and I would say better aesthetics from it. But it's much easier to wick CB2 than it is coconut apricot. But if you're using a vessel like this that's taller than it is wide, and that is above 3 inches in diameter, where you can use the multi-wicking much easier, you're not probably going to have a problem wicking coconut apricot. these are the labels that I use for these candles, and I do design and print them myself through online labels software exclusively and on their paper. And I'll try to have the paper that I'm using linked below. Again, it's in no way affiliated with them, or I don't receive any commission from it, but I just really like their materials. And this particular paper is kind of more expensive that I use for the labels, but I'm able to get a really good result. And then these labels that I'm using on top, I have had a lot of requests to do a video on. They are a gold foil background with black text. They're super easy to print. I do these ones on my HP LaserJet, and they're just a breeze. Like, and you literally have what looks like a gold foil label, but you know, they print in a second. And they're very inexpensive, this particular paper. So I use these labels just for the tops of my boxes for these candles. But I think that's gonna be all for this one. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And once again, all these candles are available now on the website. And I'm sending all of you peace, love, and light. And I'm wishing all of you happy candle making. Oh my god, you guys, my whole garage smells like smoke right now. So I wanted to show you guys, this is my new digiboil. This happened twice where it scorches my wax. Look at that, it's 415 degrees Fahrenheit. So this wax is no good. I can't use it for testing. I can't use it for candles. This is probably about 15-20 pounds of CB2 of number 7 wax. Has nothing to do with the wax, but basically this melter, I had it set to like 130 in Fahrenheit, and the EZ light came on, and basically it just did this. It didn't cut the heat, and the wax got extremely hot. I noticed it when the top of the pot started smoking in my kitchen. Hold on, I shouldn't be breathing this in. So the pot was basically like this, and I could smell the smoke coming out here. The wax is basically above its flash point, obviously, and vaporizing, which smells horrible. But this unit is done. This was my replacement unit from them, and this unit seems just as defective as the latest one that I bought from them. I've got fans on, I've got windows open because the whole kitchen just smells like smoke, basically. I would like to take the time to thank my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out goes to Wendy, 𝘴𝗫𝗏, Nancy with All About Me Beauty Bar, Merle, Brad with Neon City Scents, Michelle, Paula, Zahara with Crystalline Candle Co., Julie with Belux Candle Co., Jennifer with Bea Essentials, Selena with Banbury Street Creations, Sue, Nick, Bruce, Flavia, Jennifer with Bittersweet Candle Co., Danielle, Anitra with Ninth and Maxwell, Matthew, Jindy, Lisa, Elizabeth, Carol, Cheryl with Soap Spice Cheryl, Maya, Losa, Luzdari, Daichi, John with Past Sense Candles, Angela, Amber, Bluegrass Bath and Candle Co., Marketer with The Beat Institute, Allie, Carla, Todd with Cold Creek Candle Co., Krista, SS, Karen with River Birch Soaps, Kina with Kijoli, Angela, Amanda, Denise with Grumblegeist Candle Co., She's More, Cindy, Kim, Teresa, Frida, Shiromi, J Creative P, Colette, Nicole, Stella, Leanne, Martha, Angela, Jamie, Chadwick, Z, Mabel, Arev, Bobby, Jamie, Amy with Candle Emporium, Stephanie, Honey, Terry, Maria, Genevieve, Gracie, Yolanda, Tonya, Susan, Irene, Rolanda with Mason Marzette, Megan, Melissa, Ursulette with Ursulette's Beauty Secrets, Kelly, TCM with Ava Bryceco, Lois, Tia, Victoria with The Sacred Prayer, Valerie, Stacy with Firewick with Me, Belinda, Rhonda, Smadar, Duchess Luxury Creations, Juliet, Carla, Crystal with Indigo Scents Candle Co., Anika, Kim with Kimberly's Candle Co., Kim, Angelic, Tia, Chris, Miss S, Shakira, Tiffany, Kim, BN, Lizette, Chandra, Pat, Chickadee Company, Tara, Indigo, SJ, Gina, Emily, Sandra, Heidi, Sunday, Michelle, Lisa, Angela, Kelly, Angela, Natalie with Walters Wicks, Sherry, Cynthia, Denise, Sonia, Natasha, Aziza's Closet, Edward, Shambliss Candles and Soaps, Sabina, Raphael with Alondra's Candle Co., Desi, Kim, Abby Lane Candle Co., Christina, Tommy with Rose and Crown Soap, Tara, Joy, Katie, Diane, Kelly, Judith, Sherry, Diane, Courtney with 17 December's Candle Co., Stacy, Yvette, Teresa with All About Serenity, Janetta, Monica, Nick, Tim, Diane with Todafor, Anne with Sweet Annie's Natural Skincare, Jennifer with Honey's House Handcrafted, Michelle, Maria, Sarah, Alex, Roslyn with Hers and Hers Candle Co., Susan, Shaylee, Ia, Christopher, Louv, Brianna with Be Home Dispensary, Megan, Victoria, Ash, Nicole, Virginia, Kathy, Melania, Susie, Aaron, Regina with Adobe Rose Botanicals, Scott, Dana with MJ's Candle Creations, Leah, Stacy, Donna, Jennifer with The Clean Theory Candle Co., Maria, Mary, Zoe, Amber, Brandy, Peppa, Phil, Georgiana with Tropic Candle, Gazelle with Bozaifa, Helen, Brian with Light and Life Candles, Carla, Linda, Angela, Jane, Thomas, Anna, Jane with Peyton's Place Soapery, Evelyn with Divergent Glow, Tara with Cotton Picking Creations, Lynn, Martha, Kat, Danielle, Janelle, Sylvia with Two Chicks with Sense, Karen, Tammy with Nudie Bar Soap Co., Sandra, Karen, Crystal, Margaret with Sista Diva Design, Lori, Marcus, Anna with Ren and Rita, Devin, Christine, Melissa, Donna, Martha with Peachberry Candles, Neolin, Magnus, Kenneth, Michael, Nada, Joss, Raquel, Labushi, Rusnaini, Margie, and Lasonia. Your support is deeply appreciated.